Fast Signs have been supplying signs to companies and organisations in Leeds and West Yorkshire since 1995. From vehicle graphics, event banners and directional signs to shop fronts, internal wall graphics, they help companies make a statement and stand out. They have a great team who can help with the design, production and installation of your signs. Check them out at fastsigns.com/Leeds or call into their office on York Road on the outskirts of the city centre. And also make sure you mention the Lot Pod. Hi everyone, welcome to the Lot Pod, the Leeds Rhinos Lot 17-8 podcast, kindly sponsored by Fast Signs. Match review panel time, Leeds versus Castleford Tigers.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we're absolutely positive. Eddie, Chris and Duncan here to review this one. Chris, how are you?
I'm good. Feels a bit weird doing it this late.
I know we are late to this one.
But can't be helped. But yeah, I'm good. Very well.
How are you, Duncan? Second appearance of the season.
Aye.
On for the hat-trick ball already. You're going to have most appearances of a Lot Pod regular ever by the time the season ends.
All good, mate, yeah. All good, thank you.
Here to review another win for the Rhinos. So we're going to review the game. We're going to give our votes for the Matt Frawley Fast Signs player of the match. We will then preview the Catalans game, and then we're going to briefly touch on Rugby League heading stateside, as a few games were played over in Vegas. So we'll jump right in. Leeds 38, Castleford 24. Producer Chris, what positives can we take from this one?
I'm glad that Rugby League's now only played for 65 minutes.
That's true.
So
those new rules came in
were 38,
this
we
weekend.
won 38-6, were it? 38-4.
Yeah.
A non-game positive, actually, and it's a weird one. I mentioned it to you earlier, but how nice is it to see them wearing suits
Before the game.
Yeah. I'm not usually one for this sort of suited and booted.
Dressing up.
No, but I think it's nice. I like that they brought it in.
I think it adds
positive.
like... I think I've worn a suit
Duncan's like, fuck you on them.
about twice in my life, but I think it adds a little touch class.
Yeah, I like it, yeah.
Any other positives?
We won in 65 minutes. I don't really want to talk about that last 15 minutes. Luckily, I thought, game's gone. I needed to get home, so I left 5 minutes before end. So that's a positive.
So you missed a try.
So you missed two at try.
Yeah, it's a win, innit?
Yeah.
And it could be... them last 20 minutes could be sort of crucial to, because he's not going to accept it.
No.
And that was good to see that he's not going to accept it, because it was diabolical.
Yeah. How do you know?
Watched it back.
Duncan, what positives?
Gannon
from your
again.
side?
So Gannon doing full 80. To not have year 1, 6, 7 and 13
It's
and win a game.
Point, really. That.
It's your whole spine.
So, yeah, Hackers was the only one out of spine that's there. Or out of the starting spine.
Yeah.
Jack.
Yeah, he was great, wasn't he?
They were excellent.
Thought he did really well.
Absolutely excellent.
Bentley. Hackers, 2 good games on the trot now.
Yeah. Thought he stepped up a bit.
I thought Paliasia went well at 13. And Lum and Hanley in the backs.
Again.
Hanley's starting to look like a centre.
I thought he had wood on toast in that game.
Yeah.
Wood on toast? Have you ever eaten wood on toast?
He was
A light oak?
he was skipping round him like he just wasn't there. They didn't know how to defend.
You could sort of see it making sense.
Yeah.
Hanley centre.
Yeah, you could sort of see now why it makes sense. I mean, he'd have been better. Lum's playing amazing, but if they've had Seavord outside, I get what's going on now.
Yeah.
Because he's a runner, isn't he? So he wants to run. And the try where nearly want to try because at ref, he just didn't he?
Yeah.
It was classic centre play. It looked great. So.
And my last 2, thought Jake Connor had a really good game. Again. And it was nice to see Kev back at HQ.
Yeah.
Again.
Shaking Danny's hand.
Yeah.
Agent Maguire. I feel sorry for Danny. He's been dealt a really shitty hand, hasn't he?
But he's accepted it.
I know. I'm
He's
surprised.
the one who... I am. I'm really surprised that he did that to himself. But
no disrespect to Cass, but they didn't really offer much, did we?
No.
Whether that's down to us because we just
good.
shut them down, didn't we? Like,
But they don't have the size of their pack compared with ours. It were like men against boys for 65 minutes.
for 65 minutes.
yeah, we'll just review 65 minutes.
So we'll do the opposite of Brad Arthur.
Yeah, we'll do the opposite, and we'll just talk about the 65 minutes and then leave it there. I think the best place to start is Jake Connor again.
Well, I said on season preview, don't laugh at me, but he could be in for Man of Steel, and he's won Man of Steel points, hasn't he, for us?
He's been, and there was a moment in this game where I shouted, "Well played, Jake Connor," and my mate said to me, "Like, did you ever think those words would fall out of your mouth?" He was saying, "Well played, Jake Connor." I thought it was fantastic again, and he's really showing and everyone sort of what he's made of. And I'll hold my hands up. I'm still something of a doubter. I have been. I still hold my hands up. Still am. But I'm really enjoying him playing.
No, I think he's.
I'm really enjoying him playing.
He's what we've been missing.
He's in attack.
We don't.
He's unbelievable.
I don't think we win that game last year.
No, not with
Not with the spine.
6-7
Not
out.
with the spine missing.
Without him, you mean? If he weren't
Without Jake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
And it's good to see like how he's taking on a bit of a leadership role in attack. He's not scared when basically it was find Connor and see what he can do. He's either unlocking him with kicks, passes. He's got the full range of tricks.
Yeah, there was one, and it was sublime bit of dummy deft play. I think it was Riley Lum's try,
Yes.
and he double pumped it.
Yeah.
But it was so subtle, and he set that try
Yeah.
up.
Defenders just,
Anyway,
you can tell defenders just don't know how to defend.
He's
Because if
just got to keep doing it, hasn't he?
Yeah. If they shoot out of the line, he kicks in behind.
Yeah.
If they hang back, he passes it across the face and it's the winger in spurt. He's, like I say, he's got everything. I think he's very, very, very pleased with him so far. Long may it continue.
Is he staying at fullback?
No. We're lacking. I know I'm a fanboy, but we are lacking that pace.
We're lacking Lackey.
He don't need to. Connor doesn't need to do the donkey work. He's too good for that. You don't need him doing kick returns, and that's Miller's bag.
Exactly.
You kick the ball to Lockett at fullback, and
Yeah.
he's going to beat the first man. And
As good as Jake's been, he is lacking that pace, isn't he?
Yeah.
And we need that back. We are lacking a bit of pace. Jake Connor, to me, I don't care what position they say he's playing,
he's just got to be on field, hasn't he?
because he wasn't playing a traditional
ever think you'd
fullback
say
role.
this?
He wasn't playing a traditional fullback role on Sunday.
No.
He was playing more of a halfback role.
Yeah,
wasn't he? So
he
it
was
was like,
like, yeah.
I don't care what starting position you put him at. Just put him somewhere.
Is he our most important player?
He's turning out to be, but I think Croft will have a big say in that when he comes back.
It's a good debate to have at the minute.
This is the platform for it.
At the minute,
Here we are.
I think
he
he
is.
is in terms of the
he is.
utility value that
Yeah.
he gives.
I know we're only 3 games in.
Just because he covers so many positions as well in an area that, and in a salary cap sport where, you've not got the biggest budget, people like him are worth his weight in gold.
Yeah, and it makes sense as a signing now. I know we were all a bit like, well, oh my God, but it totally makes sense. And it's a type of player we've been missing.
Yeah.
But it is going to be interesting when Miller is back.
I think he goes into halves. He's got to go into halves. I think that's where he'll end up.
For Matt Frawley.
Yeah.
Could you play him at 13?
No, he's not got the defence for me.
But put in attack at 13 and then switch your defensive role.
Potentially, but I think he's just an half-back all day long. I think how he is talking in game as well to the people in front of him, you can see he's got a voice on the pitch. I think to have someone, we say we want a controlling half, but to have a controlling half with his skill set is completely different to having a Matt Frawley. And that's why I'd go Connor in halves.
I'd put him ahead of Matt Frawley any day, really, with how he's playing.
But I think you've got to have Miller back before you move before you're moving from
Before you make
fullback.
that decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know when Miller's due back, a couple of weeks.
Well, he said at Salford, someone asked him, he said he was back for Cass. So he's missed that, so I'd imagine his return is soon.
And he's not going to Catalan because he said on
our
rival podcast.
That he's not going to Catalan.
So it might be Saints. But then again, I wouldn't throw him in for Saints if I wouldn't disrupt the side.
The thing is, there's no rush now.
No.
With players in the back line, I think they've got to be right before they come in.
Yeah, and especially how he plays, which is explosive. If he's done his calf, hasn't he? That's
yeah.
You don't want him popping it again or blowing it again.
So, but we're in a good position that we don't need to rush him back. If it were last year, we'd be like, well, we need back
now.
Yeah, you're getting back.
He'd have come back for this casket.
And there's always Alfie as well, isn't there? If somebody does need to be pushed to full back, so we're
stacked.
Yeah,
squad depth is.
But yeah,
deep.
Jake Connor is a very important cog now. I wouldn't have ever thought that.
And I know we've got Brody and players like Mick and Riley Lumb currently form of his life, but I just think this side without JC is very, very lacking. It's not going to happen, but I just thought it was a good question to ask.
Yeah,
as the host of the best podcast in the world. Riley Lumb, it's the first time my son has seen him play, and his words were, "Lumb is the best player. He's playing like Hulk." Which strong, really strong words and impressive words.
Yeah.
Again, and I have to hark back to, because the three of us did say he shouldn't play, but you weren't here last week, but we sort of said with Phil, me and Chris, that he's looking to be there for the year now.
You can't drop him on his form.
Well, I think Arthur won't.
No,
because he said that people have got to earn the shirt.
Yeah,
and he's done that.
And who displaces Riley at the minute?
He's not only not done nothing wrong, he's looked dangerous, hasn't he?
He's excelling.
Yeah.
Game by game.
He should have transferred that ball to his left hand, though. So my only criticism...
Being super critical, he should have done, you're right. But I don't think he's not overly quick, he's not like rapid, but he's really elusive.
Yeah.
And he beats defenders, whereas... You've got the pace inside with like Hanley, Harry.
Now
I think he's just a good. And how good will it be for him to have the likes of Ryan Hall there, who we can learn off as well?
Yeah.
And that's where you look now and you see the mix of the squad and how it's gelling on the field. I mean, I know it was only Cass, but
you've still got to beat him, haven't you?
And
I mean, they gave OKR a good game, didn't they?
They did.
So they are capable of putting a performance together, but they had no chance. But he's just he can't be dropped at the moment. You can't drop him because he's playing so well.
Yeah.
I just because he's a bit of a beanpole, isn't he? He's probably not, but compared to
if
you look at him versus Ryan Hall,
but
he doesn't get knocked back and he beats first man quite a lot, doesn't he? He's quite elusive. I think, did somebody mention he were a bit like a young Zach Hardaker?
Yeah, I do see some.
That's quite wiry, isn't he? Like Zach was when he first joined.
But you can't knock how he's taken his
fair play to him.
Yeah, he's an absolute superstar. Just the next one that keeps saying next cab off the rank. I've got a few meters from this week's stat pack. Aledzki.
Hang on, what were his completion rate? Were it above 105% this week?
Yeah, it was 113.
So for the first 65 minutes.
We did say though that needs to be the standard moving forward. It's got to be
105%.
above 105%. So it was 113. A few meters this week on the stats pack. Aledzki 93 metres, Lum 143 metres. So that just backs up everything.
Just to interject on your Aledzki, I just want to point out that he only played about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I thought he would go in really well. So
he ran him really hard.
Yeah.
It must be refreshing for him not have to do everything.
And it's good that we could save him for a bit.
Yeah.
Because he's got bigger tests ahead, hasn't he? So anyway, carry on. Sorry, Eddie.
Holroyd 114. No, I'm enjoying it. Holroyd 114, Bentley 90, McDonald 77, Gannon 90, Jenkins 82, Hanley 152 metres. Absolute beast. And Ryan Hall 97. I thought the pack went well. Duncan, you are our resident prop forward union member, official member for the Lot Pod. How do you think the pack went?
I think it's a good mix. think it's a really good mix. I think I'd still like to see us with another second row. But I think
Callum Watkins might be still on cards if Salford carry on.
Don't start.
Saw him today, actually. He was in my shop. I thought Mick, you know what you're getting from Mick Holroyd, apart from his brain explosion.
We'll come to that.
A special mention for me is Paliasia.
Again.
I think to move from, there's not many, I know we say, props go to 13, a lot of people play like that, but I felt actually it does him a bit of a disservice because he's got decent hands for a big man.
Scored as well.
Yeah.
And he set the tone right at the first. I don't think it came across on TV very well, but that first hit, he walloped Kershaw.
Yeah.
And it was right under where I sit, and I'm like, I felt that. And so did Kershaw, and he's a tough.
That's what I mean about a good mix, though. We've got him that can. He's got decent hands, and I think in defence he's very physical. Holroyd is all round. His all-round game seems to have stepped up. He was all about quick play the balls and not many metres, whereas now he's added the metres to his quick play the balls. Aledzki, you know what you're going to get. If he's on the field for 60 minutes a week, he's going to do 100 metres. I thought Bentley went really well in the second row. I've been critical of Bentley and McDonald, but I thought McDonald was still poor in patches. But that was one of Bentley's best games this year. I thought he was good at Salford. Still got dragged into a bit and give a penalty away. Whereas I would nearly said yesterday then. Sunday against Cass, I thought he was
2 weeks ago by the time we recorded.
He was offloading as well. I thought the decisions he made ball in hand were correct. I thought he was looking for work where we've been critical before of they weren't taking many carries. He was looking for work and taking carries. I quite like Morgan at 6.
All right, Rowan Smith.
But I'd call him a 6.5 because he's like a
6.5.
He's like a.
Do you know what, Doug? I think with Gannon, he's a bit like Jake Connor. I don't give a shit what he's got. And
he's just got to be a team.
Fabulous rugby league player, isn't he?
He tried to play like the first sort of 15 minutes where I thought we were quite
passes, didn't he?
sketchy. He was trying to play as a 6.
Yeah, he was.
When he went direct and just got the ball under his arm and was just doing little short passing.
He's just a fabulous player. I just hope he can stay fit.
Yeah, that's the real touch wood that he's.
That's us all touching wood. If he plays on Spotify,
if he plays a full year, I mean, they all talk about him as well, don't they? All the other players are like,
he'll be in England squad if he can.
No, yeah,
if he can play this full year,
yeah,
he's that good.
But no, I think the pack looks really good. Like I said, like to see us add another second row. You never know what's going on at Salford. People might become available.
Well, at least we can pay them.
Yeah.
The Salford fans will be on to us again.
No, they've all turned now, aren't they? It's not the RFL's fault. They're all disgusted with the club.
Yeah,
because they've realised it's the club's fault now. After it being the 4th time this year that they've been put down to 1.2 million.
It's the club's fault.
But no, pack-wise, really positive. Big test at the weekend, though, with Catalan. That's where you know how good your pack is. More so against them. But we looked like physical and the bigger pack again. We were for 65 minutes.
We're only reviewing that.
We were dominant, and it's the first time I've seen Leeds really dominate territory as well. First half, I felt we like the amount of times where they didn't get out of the 20-metre line, they were getting and they were having to kick on the last.
And we're being disciplined as well.
Yeah,
I think. I saw a stat, it might have been Phil Daly on their podcast, that said, I think we're only second for the least amount of errors and penalties.
Well, at half time, we'd made 750 metres and Cass had made 350.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of noise saying that ref were giving them too many 6 agains, but they were lying on.
It's what happens when you win when you win the physical battle. It's what happens. The decisions go your way.
They were putting their hands on ball. They couldn't cope with it.
No.
For 65 minutes.
That's the length of the game, right? That's what we're reviewing. That's as far as we go. When it was announced, the team, and it was announced that Gannon and Sinfield were the half-back combo, I didn't feel uneasy. I didn't feel worried. I just thought, because we've joked for 2 years now about Gannon being this half-back. But here we are, two coaches later. and they still keep.
Yeah, but it's because
dropping him
we had Jake. Just to go back to Jake Connor, it's because you knew that there was somebody there that would
who could come in and attack.
Yeah.
And Jack looked really comfortable. Watched a bit of the behind the game thing that Rhinos do, and he would talking in dressing room.
I think he's
a leader.
I felt
Like his dada.
I felt the first 10 minutes with Jack. I felt he was trying too hard.
Yeah, I think the whole team was.
And then he kind
calm down.
of once he settled into his role, it was just like it was great. It was like it's what we want from him. I want him to. It'd be nice for all his out of contract end of year. It'd be nice for Jack to kick on and get that 7 shirt.
I've got a feeling he might, but he's just going to have to play, innit?
But you know, fair play to Brad. You know, putting him in. It'd been easy to like shuffle the deck and maybe leave him out and put Connor at 7 and maybe Alfie at fullback. But he went, no, we're playing Jack.
Yeah, the kids are going to give him a chance.
He's going to have tougher tests, though, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
We're not going to have it all his own way against better teams, so that's when we need him to sort of step up. But I do think we've got the pack now that we're not going to get dominated like we.
I was just about to say that we've got a pack now where.
And I mean, to be fair, he wasn't playing alongside. I know Connor went into 6 when we were attacking, but he wasn't playing alongside, like playing next to Gannon. He wasn't playing with an established half, and I thought we did really well. There was nothing where I thought we played direct.
Yeah,
how Brad Arthur wants us to play, and I think it suited us how he.
I think looking back on it, I think Crofted had caused mayhem on Sunday.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
I think we'd have racked up 50.
Yeah,
he'd have unlocked a lot
think
more
so.
from there.
But we nearly got. We should
but
have
then
probably
again,
got
Crofts
50,
played X amount of NRL games, and he's
exactly
on much more, and he's more established in his career than what Jack is. So yeah, no, look, I'd be happy going into next week with Jack at 7 at Catalan.
I think that might happen. I mean, we're going to talk about that, aren't we? But it were a bad gash on his hand, and might not be. But
it's good to not have to think. Oh, you know, we need to risk these. We need to get Frawley back in.
Yeah, we can.
It just adds to your squad depth when you've got players like Jack can cover the 7 and 9. Gannon can cover probably a multitude of positions, like
any position.
Yeah, like Chris said, playing wherever as long as he's on field. He's that much of an athlete that he'll be decent.
He'll do it anyway. No, I agree. I thought the fact that BA threw Gannon in at half-back and gave Frawley the time to recover. I thought it makes makes him feel his confidence is sky high. So he's like, this guy's going to play me in pretty much any position. Trust me. Obviously, we knew that Connor were going to come into attack, but I thought Sinfield's try were beautiful.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
The kick from Hawley, the tap on from Harry, and then cross straight to.
Yeah, and just on
GSC,
Harry, I think he's
Jack.
having a good season so far. He's looking strong, isn't he? He's a different type of player to when he was a younger kid.
Definitely, 100%.
But he's so strong, isn't he? And
I think it comes as well. It's good for him under Arthur.
Yeah,
I think he's what he needs. He's giving him that accountability, and he won't accept any crap. And
he looks a different player to me.
Yeah. I like that move they do as well with Ash and Harry, where they link up. You can tell they've got a good understanding of each other because that's 2 in 2 weeks now.
Switch roles, isn't there? Switcheroo.
Literally Hanley to Newman to score.
Yeah.
When it was Newman to Hanley. Isn't that an Ant and Deck song? Just sounded like I was singing, "We're on the ball." It's Hanley to Newman.
But yeah, I do.
Newman to score.
He's looking a different type of player, but he's so powerful.
Yeah.
There were some runs from dummy half and stuff where he's making meters. But I think people need to understand that he's not the super quick young kid anymore, is he?
He's had to adapt. I think now, this past year or so, he's become the most underrated player in the whole league.
It's because he burst onto the scene. Yeah. He was that good that people just underrate him because of the standards that he were at.
I think he's so underrated.
And at the end of the day, he's incumbent England centre. And I don't think
Sean Wayne loves him, doesn't he? From the footage shown on when they were away with England, and he loves Harry, and you know when he reins his aggression in, and it's not the petulant side that can come out, which I don't think we've seen.
We haven't seen that for ages.
But people hark back to it because
He's
it's
not
an
been
easy...
petulant at all. In fact, he's been
No.
quite calming, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
any ever scuffles or he's the ones... He's putting his aggression into how he's running. And,
But I think, I really like Harry. I think, he's going nowhere, is he? He's
tied up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lovely back, wasn't it?
Yeah, beautiful. It was a great try. And did Sinfield assist Hall for his try?
Yeah. And he showed quite a calm head there because he could have just flung it straight out, but he didn't. He sort of dummied it a bit, didn't he? Med short space for there.
That's something
Newman
we're very
looked
familiar
really
with.
pissed off at Ryan Hall.
They didn't
Pass
it to him. Hawley were never going to do that. Has he got the record?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's just
extending
topping it
it.
up, innit? So he's never going to pass.
And Chandler's injured, isn't he? So he's not
Chandler's
going to...
injured, yeah.
So he's never going to pass 10, 20 minutes from line.
Can't have Josh Chandler being leading.
He's going to know he can't. He's going to try. You need to come back, Danny, and score some more. So that's something we're familiar with. Sinfield assist Hall try. We've seen that for absolute donkey's years, haven't we? So I did enjoy that. James Bentley. I want to start by commenting on his effort when a cash player broke through. Bentley were leaving the field.
Off when he ran back on.
I didn't even know if it was a legal man, but I was just like, fucking tackle him, it's Bentley. And he made a right attempt. I was just imploring him to make that tackle, which was outstanding. But I thought, again, we're talking once more about James Bentley.
It's one of the best games I've seen him play.
Easy.
When we get to man at match, I might surprise you. But I think...
Spoilers.
I thought he was absolutely outstanding.
I agree.
Thought him very good, yeah.
He created a couple of opportunities that went to tries from...
He gave the offload to... Who did the kick?
He gave one to Jake Connor for Palacia's try.
And he did the offload
And he did the
Ash.
offload. And, yeah.
for the Hanley kick to Newman.
Yeah, and I think
that was him again.
he seems to have put a bit of weight on and a bit of bulk. I thought he were outstanding. He was tackling anything.
brilliant.
I just want him to do it against... I want him to keep backing it up.
It's the same with them all, innit? But I think I want him to have a run where he's not giving away stupid penalties. He don't lose his head.
I think that's gone to McDonald now.
McDonald's a new Bentley.
I don't think he's a new Bentley. I just think he's
made a few errors, didn't he?
I think he gets away with a lot in some fans' eyes because of how his first year was when he was one of the only ones that was
showing
up for us. Whereas
and Bentley were getting banned left, right, and centre.
Whereas now, like, if Bentley carries on this trajectory, then you never know. I just want him to do it against top sides. That I feel like
we've got a good couple of weeks to see, haven't we?
I want him to do that against Saints in Cup. That's what I want. To me, that's probably at the minute a bigger test than Catalan. Catalan is going to be tough because of the weather.
Yeah,
he's going to be smashing it down. They're a big pack, but
they look horrible though, don't they?
Those do.
There's something not right there.
Yeah, but
they always play well against.
They always play well against Leeds, and we've not scored a point in the last 2 years there, have we? So
no. Well, that's a bit of motivation, isn't it? Bit of motivation for him.
So do you think the Saints game is a bit of a marker to where we're at?
Yeah,
100%. Because they're playing. They're playing well out there.
They're going to go into that game. Who've they got? I don't know who they've got this week. OKR at home, haven't they?
That's a bigger test because they've not been tested.
But
we've had a fairly easy start, and they have.
Reece is out. I think Saints will win that. I think Saints will win that comfortably. I think they'll win by 12. And then it's a test for us when we go there. So, and that'll really let us know where we sit for me.
Do you agree? Think that'll be a marker for our
Totally
start of our year, the Saints Cup game?
Yeah. It's a difficult one because I wish it were a league game because even if we lost that but played really well, and it were because they've had rubbers, haven't they, for the last few years.
I'm bored of it.
I know we won that game when they had the World Cup Challenge hangover, but they've just battered us really, haven't they? And there's some kind of mental block, I think. And if it had been a league game and we lost, but we played really well and it was a close game, I'd have actually been all right with that. But it's a cup game, innit? And I want them to do well in cup.
Well, I said when we did the Super League preview, I said Saints would start like an house on fire and then drop away.
I agree with you.
And they've started
they
like an house on fire.
I'm just not sure they've been that tested yet.
No, I agree.
So they had Salford kids, which is fine. They played Wakefield. They played well against Wakefield, but they didn't steamroller them.
They've played Cass as well, haven't they?
And they played Cass, haven't they? So it's like not being tested.
No, I
yet.
agree. And they'll get. Hopefully, they pick up a couple of injuries against LKR, and then.
I'm only laughing because I agree.
Nah, full strength. And
Do you think we should go full strength for the cup game?
I want them to be
absolutely.
full strength.
Yeah.
Us to be full strength. Have a good old ding dong.
Yeah.
2 successful captain's challenge. We got bollocked, didn't we? Because we didn't mention.
Yeah.
That's the pod before the pod's full.
Because as people
Pod
know,
before the
we this is the second pod of the evening. We always do a pod before the pod, and then we sort of forget what we've spoken about the other side, and then we think we've mentioned it. But 2 successful captain's challenges. Shall we talk about the last 20 minutes, or we're not bothering? I don't. Raise your hands. I don't want to talk about it.
I think you've got to touch on it.
It's only 10 for me. I left early.
Last 3 and it's all 10.
But it's as I said in the pod before the pod. Yeah, the pre-pod.
The pod before the pod.
Pod.
It's refreshing to have someone like Arthur who addresses it.
Yes.
He didn't brush it under the carpet. He came out, he said, we were poor. The only thing we're going to watch from this game is not the first 65, well, he said 60 minutes. Yeah. We're going to watch the last 20 and we're going to see where we went wrong because we can't have it. And he actually said they disrespected Cass and they disrespected the game.
Really?
Yeah, he proper went in on it.
He didn't. Wow. He didn't, and that was open to the public. And then they asked him about Jake Connor, and they said, "How well did you think Connor played?" Because they'd just given him man at match, and he said, "I'm not."
He's just focusing on that 20.
And he went, "I'm not interested in pretty players. I want players that work hard."
Jesus. He proper went in on it.
And that were all he said on that.
To be fair, he did say in his presser that the players weren't happy, and that was good to see.
Yeah.
He said they knew.
But I think he's elevated the standards. Oh,
without a doubt.
And he wants accountability, and the players wanted accountability. Well, they've got that now. They've got it in spades with Arthur. And I think you feel in safe hands with him. I feel more confident now that the issues will be addressed, and they're not just going to go, "Oh well, we've won the game, sack that." He's going to focus on the negatives and go, because in his eyes, we've still not had an 80-minute performance all year.
Oh, we didn't, did we?
No.
Yeah. So it might turn out to be a good thing, but no, I don't want to review it because I didn't see most of it.
But those players, they've got it brutal because they'll be like we just said there, Jack Sinfield's try, Newman's try from the handler kick. They'll be like, "Oh, I'd love to review that." He's going to go, "No, don't give 2 hoots about that."
But
what about this missed tackle?
He is right, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt.
Because that, if we weren't so far ahead, if they do that if they play, he said something in presser like Wigan, we won't be that far ahead against Wigan.
Yeah.
We can't do that against Wigan.
And if we just blow out like that, they're going to come back.
You play against a better side who are actually in it, and that 15 minutes costs you a game. With how poorly we played.
Yeah.
We keep going between Arthur's Leeds was the first 65 minutes. Rowan Smith's Leeds was the last 15
Still
minutes.
Think we're suffering for some.
I'm not saying. I think Arthur wants us to be ruthless, doesn't he? He wants us to play as if it's 0-0 in the 75th minute and the first minute.
Whether we're winning by 80.
Whether we're winning by 80 or not.
They were trying to overplay, which
and
they really didn't need to. If they'd just carried on doing what they were doing, they'd have probably scored another 2 tries. But they started to get really loose, didn't they?
Yeah.
And it were offloads and missing tackles.
How many times is McDonnell going to give an offload like that out the back? He don't do it, so he went away from his own game.
Yeah, true.
But I think it's good that it's happening against teams that we're beating. I know we got unstuck. We came unstuck against Wakey, but
last year we were talking about when we played Huddersfield and we were in control and we lost.
I hated that game, the home game.
Yeah,
winning by 12 twice, weren't we?
Yeah, and
we lost.
Yeah,
that could have easily happened with that yesterday.
And that were Connor.
Yeah, Connor. Yeah, but, so. At the end of the day, it was still a comprehensive win. Yeah. I'm a bit gutted about points difference because it does matter. Like, you've got to look at Super League table at end of last year.
I genuinely think with us, I don't think we'll be scraping 6th. I think we're top. I think
Champions,
we'll be 4th. I think we'll be 4th or 5th.
Way more than that. Do you agree with BA in that he felt we disrespected Castleford?
I suppose so, yeah. I think we switched off. Just thought, we've won this. Well, he said they disrespected themselves as well, so he went all in on them. Yeah. It is a bit disrespectful, I suppose, isn't it? Oh, right, we've won.
Went away from that tackle. Went away from game plan.
Not gonna
completely went away from game plan.
We should have been shutting that game out. So yeah, I suppose they're harsh words, aren't they? So,
well, as it was developing, as in Cast scoring more, I thought, first of all, when they scored, because I wanted to nil them, so that was, I was like, that's annoying. But then it got more and more frustrating as they were scoring more. I'm like, no, this is, cover your ears, George. This is starting to piss me off now. Like you said, we should have shut this out. Like my son, again, he's only 5, but he said, because I said, we're probably going to get 50, and he said, we won't score again at 38, 36. And I'm like, there's 20 minutes or whatever long left, and he was right.
Yeah. Like, I didn't mind the first try that much. It was quite a nice try. That Rooney's quite a decent player, isn't he? Bit of speed. But
again, that came from was it Allroyd that shot out of the line and left gap behind him?
Yeah. The one that I hated, I think it might have been the second try or third try, where they were just on our line and it was just he just walked in, and I was disgusted at that. I thought we weren't discussing this. What?
The Innis one did me.
25 minutes on the last 20. That we aren't going to discuss. On to the Matt Frawley Fast Signs Player of the Match. But just before we do choose our votes for the Player of the Match, we would like you to comment below on this YouTube video with your selection for the Matt Frawley Fast Signs Player of the Match, and let's see if you agree with us. So, Duncan, Matt Frawley Fast Signs Player of the Match.
Jake Connor.
For you, Jake Connor.
Jake Connor.
Nice and easy. Any other?
Mention to Bentley, but Jake Connor for me. I think without that gate, I think he made it easier for us. Especially with who we had missing in spine and having both halves out. That's why
he had a lot to do. Yeah,
he had a lot to do, and that's why I'd go Connor.
No, I'm going James Bentley.
You're going JB.
Bentos, JB.
Any other mentions?
Morgan Gannon. That'd be my 2 picks, just to be contrary. Because
he's choking up.
Because if we get choking up, that'd mean Jake Connor. Was that 2 or 3 times in a row? Oh no, Riley Lum got.
Riley Lum.
Because you didn't have to call it the Jake Connor man of the match.
Someone's got to get 5. That's never going to happen.
Well, it depends, doesn't it? It could be on
what
2 in a row.
Matt Frawley again?
It might be, but Matt Frawley.
Matt Frawley.
No, Bentos. I'm going Bentos.
You're going Bentos.
Connor played brilliantly, but Bentos and Gannon were my.
I'm going to give a shout out to Jack Sinfield because I thought he was awesome. He's not my choice. And again, James Bentley, because again, I thought he was outstanding. But it's good old JC. Sorry, JB. Jake Connor. You are the Matt Frawley Fast Signs Player of the Match. Do you agree with us? Comment below on this YouTube video. And
Can you believe you're saying that?
No? Like my friend said when I said, well played, Jake Connor. We're like, did you ever think
Can you
those
believe
words were going to fall out of your mouth and you're going to say, well played, Jake Connor? We'll preview Catalans away up next for the Rhinos. Just before we came on air, Tom Holroyd was a very lucky man in my eyes and only got a 2-game ban, so he misses Catalans and Saints. This is massively frustrating, Duncan, because he's been in really good nick.
Give someone else a chance, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Little Tom.
Big Tom.
If it's me picking the side, which it never is,
you're going to put Bentley at prop.
It should be you picking the side.
I'd have Bentley on the bench as a prop. I'd put Gannon into starting in the second row because Croft will be back this week, and he can replace Gannon at 6.
Yeah,
and then I'd go
Jack
as is.
Would you keep Alfie on the bench?
Yes. Just because it gives us... It can cover... I think if we were... I'm not saying he will, and I hope he doesn't, but if Jack's feeling a bit of pressure and he's being targeted or whatever by then, because it's going to be horrible weather in Catalan.
He had a horror show last year there as well, didn't he?
So I think it gives you the option of you can bring him on, and I think a bench of the pack being Connor, Bentley, Lasoni, there's enough players that do big minutes in the pack.
We are quite lucky
because you will have
quite mobile. And they can play big minutes.
If you've got Paliasir at 13, you've got three props on the field at the start. Cooper Jenkins is like a mixture between a back row. I
didn't even mention him. He played well, didn't he?
Yeah, he played really well.
Skilled a few people, didn't he?
He gives you a bit of mobility, like you were saying. He gives us a bit of mobility at prop. So I think the utility's there in the pack. So I don't think we need to go. Whereas I've said previously, when you go to Catalan, you need like 3 forwards on the bench plus Jared to do what he does coming on for Ackers. I think we can actually cover the positions with who's starting, because Lasoni again only did once. He's only done 2 stints in the last 2 weeks, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Which has been like a 20-minute, 15
Usually
to 20
we'd
minutes.
Be annoyed at that, wouldn't we? Because we'd be saying we want more out of him. But to be honest, you can actually you can cope with it because the other props can do so big minutes.
I just think, again, they've started really poorly, but we haven't scored a point there in 2 years.
I just don't know what to make of them, because the sort of... You look at the team sheet and they shouldn't be playing that badly, should they?
I think Garcia's meant to be missing into.
Perfect.
But he's been playing at hooker.
He's been playing at 9, hasn't he?
And he ain't a hooker. So that means that Alex Da Costa will play. Now that could work in their favour in terms of they've got an actual hooker playing at hooker.
I don't know what to make of them, because they've just
I just
horrible.
think it's another one where we've got to come out of the blocks quickly, like we did. I know we conceded the first try against Salford, but again at Salford, we didn't go away from the game plan. Even if we give up the first score,
we're stuck with it.
We can't have a bad 15 or 20 minutes right at the start of the game.
And we don't even need to score.
No.
You just need to keep that pressure up.
Well, he always says on behind the scenes, doesn't he, Brad, that even if we don't score, you keep the pressure on. You hand the ball over on our terms,
and you'll end up scoring.
And you'll reap the rewards. You'll reap the rewards back end of the game. So,
and we haven't played like that against Catalans for a long time, so it'll be interesting. It's an interesting game.
I always think with Catalan, if we can match them in the pack, we've got enough in our arsenal now that will.
Yeah, I just like I say, I can't read them. I don't know what they've been so poor. They're going to have a good game
at some point.
It's like, I don't know. I can't even give you a prediction.
Leeds will win.
Would there be any changes from you then in terms of the squad?
Yeah, well, Croft will obviously come back in.
Croft is coming back in.
I would...
What are you doing with Frawley?
I'm a bit 50-50 because Jack had a really poor game there last year, but that could work in his favour. But
played well this week.
I'd keep Frawley out, let his hand heal properly, because there's no way he'll have healed fully.
No way. How many stitches did he have?
8. But then they came apart, didn't they?
Oh, God. Yeah.
While they were playing.
Yeah, second.
So,
so ill.
Crofty comes in. Let's keep Jack there. All right.
Little Tom.
Duncan might have just calmed around there.
JB prop. It's definitely bulked up.
I just think again though, like sorry to interrupt, but bringing Tom in, it might be the wrong game. If it were Catalan at home, I'd go, okay, we'll put Tom in. Yeah. But you've got 2 props on the bench that'll only probably do 1 stint, whereas Bentley could potentially do.
I want to see Gavin start at either loose or second row.
Yeah,
but I think he'll keep Palacier at loose forward because he did such a good job.
He did, brilliant.
So that leaves us Cooper Jenkins starting with Mick.
Yeah, I won't change the front row.
Quite happy with that. I think Mick will do more minutes week. So yeah, maybe what Dunk says, but put Bentos on the bench, bring him on with 20
Or
minutes.
he might even just go Bentley and McDonnell, keep them, and then Gannon on bench and bring him on. But I think Gannon just offers us that something different that the other guys don't.
Have we got to start managing Morgan's minutes though?
No, I'm not so sure.
You let him go.
We just let him go.
I think you let him go.
If we
now.
mollycoddle him a bit, it's like, well, he played for 80 minutes, didn't he, on Sunday? I think he needs to start doing that.
I think whatever decision they make, they'll know. And we do look after the players in terms of like you've seen with head knocks in the past.
They stood him down.
Yeah.
Twice.
So, but I'd like to see him
continue playing.
Continue getting 60 to 80 minutes a week. Even if he started and then came off last 20 and played 60 minutes.
Just keep him playing.
Just to keep him, or he starts on the bench and comes on for 60. I don't know, but I think he needs to play the bulk of. He needs to play an hour at least, really, as much as he can.
Yeah.
Predictions.
So,
Leeds
by 10.
You've just read that off there.
No, I am.
By the way, that's missing a 0. Let me just add 110. There we go. Producer Chris, you don't sound as.
No, I think we'll win, but I don't know whether it's going to be a big win or we're going to scrape past them. I'd like to think we're winning anyway because they've looked terrible. I can just see them up in the game a bit.
That's why I went for us only by 10.
We're either going to win by 4 or we're going to win by 24.
So what are you going to say?
That's what I'm saying. We're either going to win by 4 or 24.
I'll say Leeds by 28.
What did you say against Cass?
50, 52. I think my biggest thing for the Cass game was whether they'd score or not. But 52, I think I said. That's that. That's the Rhinos. Rugby League. Just to finish up the podcast, we'll briefly touch on Rugby League. In Vegas, Rugby League headed stateside. There was an NRL, 2 NRL games, a Super League game, and a women's international game. I thought the coverage was absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, I managed to stay up till about 20 minutes into women's international.
52.
And then it was pointless, really. But I'll mention them in a bit. But yeah, the coverage was amazing. It felt
big time.
I thought I was going to watch it and think, I'm going to be pissed off because it's Warrington and Wigan, but I didn't care. I think Wigan put on an amazing display.
Yeah.
The whole stadium crowd looked good. Vossi were commentating.
Best in the biz.
Yeah. It just had a big event. It should have been the World Club Challenge to me.
Yeah.
And I think Penrith sort of said that as well, didn't they?
They was balling though. They never want to play.
Yeah, well, they said it's probably a good idea we didn't play it.
Yeah, because Wigan
were that good.
What did you make of it, Dunk?
Like you've just said, I thought it was just an event that made you as a rugby league fan a bit jealous that you weren't part of.
Although I don't know whether I'd want to go to America, but anyway, that's it.
Yeah.
Definitely I would. I just think I think it's an event that you want to be part of, and I think it's good to see if you can get on a platform with the NRL and build them relationships.
It can only be good, can't it?
Yeah. I mean, just to put us a bit in the spotlight with them, there'll be coverage of. I know they show our games over in Australia, but when you've got some of the commentators that we've got, they're not really going to listen, are they? But I think to have Vossi commentating and Greg Alexander, and have Greg Alexander on there as well. I thought, like I said, it's an event that you want to be part of. I agree with Chris. I think if Rugby League is wanting to be serious about development, that's the sort of stage you put it on to develop it.
I've never seen
I think you go World Club Challenge. You could go massive with it. You could have 2 NRL games, 2 Super League games, and really pack it out and do a bit of a mixed Magic weekend.
Yeah,
and
stateside.
And because if you alternated the teams each year of who were there, like if you think over here, you've probably got Saints, Wigan, us, and Warrington, potentially Hull KR, who you could rotate between and go, right, Wigan, you did it last year with Warrington, right, it's Leeds and St Helens this year. And if you've got, I don't know, Wigan will probably want to do it again because they want to be involved in everything, which is quite right, you would be. If there were two Super League games and you went, right, it's Wigan Hull KR, Leeds v St Helens, or even Leeds Hull KR, St Helens Wigan, and do St Helens Wigan stateside. But whatever it is, we need to put the best game on possible that we can in that event.
That's why I can't.
Obviously, you're not.
That's why I can't go.
You're not in charge of the scoreboard or anything like that. But if you can put two of our best sides over there, I think it just promotes our competition. It actually says to Australia, you know what? We're not full of crap rugby league players. We have actually got teams that are decent.
I think the scoreline didn't really, because it was a bit of a blowout, wasn't it? A bit like our game for 60 minutes. And I don't think it mattered that much because Wigan played so well.
Yeah.
So it were actually, from what I saw, probably the best game of the three men's games. And Wigan played really well. And then they had a bit of a comeback to Warrington. So I thought it were a really good game. And the good thing is, you could tell English fans were there because they were singing. When you got into NRL games, it were a bit quieter.
Dead.
It was great. It was great. It was. I didn't know what to think of it before I started watching it, but the Sky presentation, they were in the NFL studio that they use.
Yeah.
I'm like, why can't we use something like that more often?
Yeah.
Like, they had a proper build up
rather than a little box.
Yeah, or just stood at
back
pitch.
of a working men's
It won't
club.
work. You've been in a massive studio and then going right now to the jungle.
The build up and everything was really good, and
Yeah.
it was a bit more like what they do with Premiership football. That were good, and I think the only downside for me is I've got to worry about the women's game. No one's catching Jillaroos.
No,
probably not in my bloody lifetime.
So do you think
they are that good?
Do you think, because Peter Vlandis has already said there's only going to be 3 games there in 2026, so do you think they'll take the women's state of origin?
No, I would do World Club Challenge, Super League, NRL. That is what I would do over
looking
there.
at it, if they don't do the World Cup Challenge there, they're missing a massive trick.
I think they'll do 4. I think it'd be 2 from one of the leagues. And then World Cup Challenge
Over a weekend.
No, I'd do it. You could do 4 games on a day. Because we do 4 games on a day at Magic, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know, but I think
it'll all come down to what the NRL decide.
Yeah, which is fine, isn't it?
Which it is fine.
Just let us tag along.
You just want it to be. You want to be part of that.
Of course you do.
Yeah, and it should have been World Cup Challenge, and I think it will be. But it would be good to get another Super League game over there.
Yeah,
I think
some clubs have sort of said that they might not want to do it.
Well,
cost.
You know who that? I think Catalan have pulled out because they're next year they're on the road, aren't they? They're rebuilding.
Yeah.
So
they'll be losing money anyway,
so they don't want part of it. I think it is only the 2 that were there this year, us Saints and Hull KR, that have thrown the hat into the ring and gone, we'll go.
But yeah, it was very good.
I think the coverage, the build-up, the coverage on television, I don't think Rugby League has ever looked better.
Oh, it looked great.
I don't think it's
not
ever
sure about the
looked
green posts.
bigger. I'll even like that.
Were they green or yellow?
Yellow.
I don't think it's looked bigger. I don't think it's looked better presented. And I don't think it's looked more marketable than
I thought they did some really good touches, like the referees wearing the NFL style referees outfit. I thought they got a lot of things right. I even looked at the match ball. I know, I know, but
no,
with the American flag on the bottom, I thought it looked, like you said, I just think the whole thing was really good, and I'd like to think they've gone, do you know what, we've got something here.
Well, they've locked it in for 5 years, haven't they?
Yeah, they're in.
But I think it can.
I think the Vegas have said that they want it for longer because it's that good an event for them.
Yeah.
I can imagine all Brits on piss in Las
in
Vegas.
that time of year, and there's not much else going on sports riding this time of year in Vegas.
I think it's perfect for
America.
I think it's perfect. I really do. I think
I agree.
there's nothing negative to be said about giving our players a platform. I mean, look what he's done for Bevan French. Right.
Got himself an NRL contract.
100%.
No, but like I was saying before, like the coverage in Australia, they don't look at our game, whereas now that gives you a platform where you can go, do you know what? We have actually got marketable superstars.
And I think the people actually that are involved at a decent level in NRL, they do respect it.
Oh, yeah.
Like we said, the commentators, they knew everything.
Yeah.
And they're big fans of it, and Vlandis is as well, isn't he?
I think it's the wider audience, like your general fans.
Oh, yeah, they ain't got a clue. They haven't got a clue. Looked amazing. Well done, NRL. Well done to the Super League sides involved, and well done to the women. Thank you, everybody, for watching, for listening. Please do subscribe to us on YouTube as we crawl our way to 1,000 subscribers. We're nearly there. Please leave us a 5-star review on Spotify as well. And we are no longer on X. We have ditched it. So please do follow us on Instagram, Blue Sky, and TikTok. Just search for the Lot Pod. That's us there. And we'll see you all for the Catalans review. Take care.